Everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you a celestial wisdom for the second half of May, mostly because we've got some uh, good energy, some interesting energy with planetary movement, and also just what's happening for all of us collectively and individually, right? I want to just encourage us that we're going to keep going through these ups and downs, roller coaster feeling rides, things like that, because that is just part of the human experience. But I'm excited because I believe that the cosmic shifting that is happening, where the universe becomes the multiverse, where we start to recognize how truly powerful we are, that we come to this understanding and beginning of origins, if you will. There's a lot of truth telling that I believe is going to continue, and a lot of information shared. Now, of course, the opposite does live here in the 3D world, so there's a lot of false stuff that's going around, lies, deceit, as well as pay attention. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but there's a lot of hacks that are happening, people's information getting taken, all of that. I was warning about this for the last couple of years, really, but in particular, when Uranus moves into Gemini, which it is now. And so it's going to be here for the next 7 years, as well as with Pluto in the transformational energy of and the systems energy of Aquarius. So pay attention. It's not going away. And so it's going to be really important that we continue to, I'll say, let go while also still protecting our information and our identity at the same time. All that to say, speaking of Gemini energy, Mercury is going to enter Gemini on the 17th of May and make an immediate conjunction, or like I like to say, a canoodling with Uranus. And so here we have Mercury in its home sign of Gemini, so it rules Gemini and Virgo. And so when it enters its home sign, there's a lot more ease. Think of it like coming home, right? You're in your sanctuary, you're in your place where you can just let your hair down. You don't have to think too much about it. Well, Mercury in Gemini is going to make, or I'll say not make, influence us to have sharper, quicker, maybe more restless minds. Information is going to be traveling, we'll be flitting and floating, and maybe there could be some breakthroughs that also come into play here. But also with there being this conjunction with Uranus, that sudden clarity can come up with a longstanding issue. There could be some innovative ideas that come out of nowhere. Also, I would say watch the nervous system, because our mind, that monkey mind, right? That's what I like to say. The nervous system can kick into high gear and we can start thinking about all kinds of things and then overstimulate ourselves. So, but our intuition could be really heightened if we pay attention to the intuitive hits and then logically start to piece them into play, right? There's also a possibility here where if we've had some limiting thought patterns, that we can suddenly break free of those. That can feel really good. Collectively, this can bring up some surprising announcements, technology developments, changes in any sort of public speaking, things like that. So pay attention to all of that, staying flexible and fluid, because Gemini is a mutable sign. And with Uranus and Mercury here, blessed are the flexible, for we're never bent out of shape, right? And then we also, on May 18th, Mars is going to make its move out of Aries, its home sign, into Taurus, and Venus is going to be leaving Gemini and going into Cancer. So there's going to be this sextile that happens between Mars and Venus, which I feel could really energize the lovers, the way we give and receive love, the way we express love, and how we, and also what we value, right? And remember, I mentioned before, a sextile means that there's usually a little bit of a challenge in there, but it's a fun challenge. This is a flirty, playful challenge. This is like, you want to see what I got, then you better work for it. Or there's a lot of playful, flirtatious energy that can show up here with these two planets at a sextile, especially as Mars enters Taurus and Venus in Cancer. This is the earth and water elements coming together that can flow very naturally and wants to bring something concrete. So I would watch for some commitments. I would watch for some declarations of what you want and need in order to feel emotionally safe and secure. This is not about rushing things either. So those of you who are single and you're looking for that long-term relationship, this has all the energy written all over it here. So get out and mingle. Have your friends set you up if you're a little shy, or go to a concert or a meditation group or whatever. Just make sure you talk after the meditation, or maybe before you do a little meet and greet. I know meditation is individual, but anyways, I'm just pointing out, do something that you enjoy doing and watch how you could meet somebody who piques your interest. But remember, this is a relationship that may take time, because Venus in Cancer is all about softening the heart, and we want safety, and it's all about home and family and that authentic connection. And Mars in Taurus is about sustainability and security, long-term value, right? So this takes time. And what does that require? It requires trust. And that is built over time in testing. Yeah. So slow down, talk about, feel into what truly matters for you. What do you really value? Take grounded action so you can create personal or financial stability during this time. And there's a real deepening here if you're willing to be vulnerable with beloveds, if you're bonded with somebody, or if you are single, be a little vulnerable with them. I mean, you don't have to pour out your entire life story in the first date, but let them know, hey, I'm feeling a little nervous right now, or I'm excited, but I'm also skeptical because I've been burned. Those are the kind of vulnerabilities that you can share. I remember when I met my beloved, and I suffer from anxiety. And I shouldn't say suffer. I have tools, but I did tell him, I said, look, I have an anxiety issue. I said, however, I have tools and methods in order to navigate it. So that was me sharing a little bit of my shadow, but also saying, but I've got it, Then I would say that we have Mercury making a trine to Pluto. That happens on May 19th. This could actually have like really good conversations that maybe not as deep, because we're working with air here, right? But the truth may just easily be shared because we got this trine going on. So there's nothing prohibiting it. So I would say that some truths being revealed could feel transformative. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that, or, oh, thank you for confirming that for me. I was only intuiting that. Now I have the confirmation. It may also bring a connection with someone that is long overdue, a conversation that needs to happen. If you've been holding and repressing something and just kind of waiting for that right time for it to happen, this could be it. So pay attention to it. Then we've got the sun making its ingress into Gemini on the 20th. So we're now going to officially start really being in that Gemini season. And so for the next 28 days, we're going to be looking at networking and communication and writing and speaking and our local community or local travel, asking a lot of questions, staying open. I would also say there's probably going to be a lot of gossip that's happening. I know a lot of people who have heavy Gemini energy love their reality shows. So I have a feeling there could be a release of new reality shows, or maybe you decide you want to get into one, But this is a great time for us to really pay attention to the lightness that can show up. So if things have felt a little too heavy, this could bring on a little bit of a lightheartedness. And then on the 21st, we've got Venus squaring off to Neptune, and that might just bring in some emotional projection, fantasy versus reality, maybe some oversensitivity. But remember that us high sensitives, we can use this time also as an opportunity to really hone in on our intuition and to pay attention to what we need and to speak to what we need most as well. So those are some things to pay attention to. Then, of course, we do get another new moon this month. And that will be when the sun and the moon are canoodling with Gemini. So it's a great time to set up our intentions around what do we really want to learn? What do we want to share? Maybe how do we use our voice more consciously? Because remember, our words can harm or heal. Maybe there is an intention to release a book or a article or a speaking engagement, some topic that you're really passionate about, this is a great time to do that as well. So I just want to offer that there's some really lighthearted energy that's here, and so enjoy it, because yeah, it's going to get heavier again. It's going to get overly emotional again. We're going to get things shaken up, and it's not going to necessarily go our way. So yeah, enjoy this, use it, because this can be a real building block for when those times get heavier or more serious, that you can point to, and you can maybe feel a little reassurance that everything doesn't have to fall completely apart. It just might be a hiccup or a speed bump in the road. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com and 1-2-listen. Another pin on the map on the 20th, when the sun ingresses into Gemini. I will be off for a graduate event with Nine Gates Mystery School until the 31st of May. So I will be out of pocket during those 12 days, but I look forward to connecting with you when I can, and when we can, because I always trust in that perfect timing. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week to 2 weeks, and I will connect with you soon. Take care.